The world thought it knew Michael Jackson. They saw the dazzling performer. They saw the global icon. They saw the reclusive figure behind the gates of Neverland Ranch. They consumed the adoring headlines. They consumed the damning headlines. But behind the spectacle, behind the moonwalk, and the single sequined glove, a different story was unfolding. It was a story told in hushed tones. It was told in secured boardrooms, and in the dead of night, of unseen forces moving pieces on a chessboard. To unravel this mystery, we must first introduce the keeper of its secrets, Howard Weitzman. He was not just another high-priced attorney in a city full of them. Weitzman was a legend in the Los Angeles legal community, a master strategist known for his calm demeanor and his ferocious defense of high-profile clients. His relationship with Michael Jackson was more than just professional. It was one of deep, abiding trust. Weitzman became one of the very few people who could speak to Michael with absolute candor. To the outside world, any dealings Michael Jackson had with the government were seen through the narrow lens of his legal troubles. The government's role, as far as anyone knew, was purely prosecutorial. When settlements were mentioned, they were always framed as financial transactions, a way to make a problem go away with money. The official record, the one accessible to journalists and the public, contained no trace of a hidden arrangement. The silence from Washington was read as disapproval, not discretion. Years after Michael's death, the official story began to show its first tiny cracks. The source was Howard Weitzman himself, no longer bound by the full weight of attorney-client privilege. In quiet, off-the-record conversations with a trusted biographer, he began to allude to something never told. He hinted at a responsibility national in scope. What could possibly be national in scope about a pop star's legal troubles? Weitzman described immense pressure, not just from the media, not just from prosecutors, but from unexpected parties. As Weitzman continued to share details, the outline of this secret arrangement became clearer. The deal was not about money. The real currency was influence and control. He was an unparalleled instrument of American soft power. His music, his image, his humanitarian efforts opened doors where diplomats couldn't. The lawyer spoke of a quid pro quo that was never written down on paper. The understanding was simple. In exchange for protection from harassing legal pursuits, Michael had to align public activities with certain national interests. It was subtle. The true price of this arrangement was not measured in dollars, but in autonomy. The government's protection was not a gift, it was a leash, albeit a long and gilded one. Michael had to agree to a life of carefully managed isolation. His retreat from the public eye was in fact a key condition of the deal. His security team was not composed solely of private bodyguards. They were his protectors, yes, but they were also his handlers. They ensured he adhered to the terms of the agreement. He was living in a beautiful, luxurious cage. The biggest secret, the one Howard Weitzman saved for last, was the name they gave this clandestine arrangement. Internally, among the very few who knew, it was referred to as the Neverland Protocol. This was not merely a code name, it was a deeply symbolic title. It signified Neverland Ranch as a government-sanctioned safe zone, an unofficial territory with different rules. The protocol's most stunning provision was the fail-safe. They would not rig the trial, but they would give Michael's team an overwhelming, invisible advantage. The final revelation was the protocol's endgame. The plan was for Michael to leave the United States and live abroad permanently. The This Is It concerts were meant to be his final public act. The existence of the Neverland Protocol was kept hidden. For the government, admitting to a secret extrajudicial arrangement with a celebrity would have created a political firestorm. For Michael Jackson's legacy, the truth is a double-edged sword. It recasts him as a figure of immense strategic importance, caught in the machinery of global politics. With great fame comes great consequence. Behind the public spectacle of celebrity, unseen hands pull the strings, shaping a narrative the world may never fully know. The king of pop was, in the end, a prince in a gilded cage, his reign governed by a secret treaty.